Hi everybody, this is Shehryar and you're watching All of Your Business. We are going to talk about key economic developments and major financial activities across the globe. Without any further delay, let's meet our guest, Mr. Mehtab Haider. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Walaikum assalam.
How are you, sir?
I am fine.
Thank you for joining us, sir. Sir, I'll begin the podcast with the first question, and that is farmers and industrialists are going to get cheaper electricity according to the recent Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif's announced package. Sir, how do you see this package coming for the industrialists and farmers?
Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Thank you very much for having me. Actually, Prime Minister of Pakistan had unveiled a incentive package to promote utilization of electricity. And government has incentivized two sectors, agriculture sector as farmers and industrialists. Uh, they are getting cheaper electricity. For instance, uh, one sector was used to get electricity at a rate of 38 rupees per unit, around 38 rupees. And the other one was getting 34 rupees. Now they are going to get electricity at 22.98 rupees per unit. So it means that more than 15 rupees per unit cheaper electricity will be provided to both industrialists and farmers. What is meant? It is meant to increase productivity because large scale manufacturing and small and medium enterprises are the backbone of the economy as well as the farm sector. So the government wants to promote agriculture sector as well as the industrial sector. And Pakistan has a surplus electricity. And this surplus electricity, we have done uh, agreements with the IPPs. And for this financial year, we are bound to pay the capacity charges to the tune of 1.8 trillion rupees. So, this is meant to increase the consumption, and it also meant to avoid shifting from on-grid consumers to the solar rooftops. So it is aiming to increase the consumption of the electricity, and keeping in view the decline in the consumption, the government has incentivized these two sectors, and this package is meant for 3 years.
Sir, having said that, this is going to help the farmers and industrialists, do you think the production cost would also be reduced? Hence, drawing a conclusion that the goods and commodities could be cheaper for the citizens of Pakistan?
Actually, this package is not meant for other sectors. So it is not meant for the domestic consumers. It is not meant for the households. So it is the cost of the generating electricity.
All right.
Electricity sector is facing multiple problems, and one of the problem is the cash bleeding of the discos, which is still hovering around 500 billion to 600 billion per annum. Some of the discos, for instance, ISCO is performing very well, but some of the discos, especially PESCO, HESCO, some of the discos are not performing well. Their technical and financial losses are huge. So there's a need to restructure them. That's why the government has committed with the IMF to privatize or some kind of actions related to the three discos. We have committed that we are going to privatize this PIA as well as three discos. There will be concessional agreements or some kind of privatization is expected in this financial year.
Sir, with the new electric vehicle policy of Pakistan, it is aimed to it is expected to save around 1 billion per annually. So how it could be done? For example, if we shift to electronic vehicles, how we are going to save? 1 billion.
Actually,
Can you tell me us in the simpler words?
simpler word means that when the consumer will shift to the electric vehicles, $1 billion will be saved through that there will be no need of petrol and diesel. So import bill will be reduced. And the government has announced a 5-year electric policy under which on traditional cars a electric a levy has been imposed, and the government has decided to allocate 100 billion rupees subsidy with the approval of the IMF to promote electric vehicles in Pakistan. And through this podcast, I want to tell you that on motorbikes and rickshaws, the government has already kick-started subsidy mechanism. And in the first batch, which was announced a couple of months back, 40,000 electric motorbikes have been distributed at the price of rupees 240 250k. But when they are going to register them on their names, the government is going to provide a subsidy of rupees 80,000. So it means that 1/4 will be provided in shape of subsidy to the customers. And from the next financial year, four-wheel small cars will also be provided this kind of subsidy. So on electric vehicles only. So it is a package which will be rolled over for next 5 years period. And this kind of subsidy will also be provided to the cars, to the buses, to the trucks in this 5 years
Electric
period.
buses.
Electric buses only.
Sir, do you actually see Pakistanis shifting towards electric vehicles?
Everyone can witness on roads that there we can see electric motorbikes. So when there will be incentive, everyone will have incentive to use it. For instance, all those who are using motorbikes, they are using on average 15,000 rupees per month. So with investment of one time, they are going to save 15 rupees, which they are going to utilize on the fuel. It will be reduced, and in these motorbikes, electric motorbikes, they can charge their batteries at homes. But the government is also planning to install charging stations, and more than 3,000 charging stations will be established.
Sir, SBP reserves have increased by 14 million US dollars. So, how is this good for Pakistan's economy? And this seems like a good news.
I think this is a phenomena which is a routine matter. Uh, Although we have witnessed that under the IMF program, we are creating buffer. Buffer means that we are trying to build up the foreign exchange reserves. And not only the reserves held by the State Bank of Pakistan has gone up, but the reserves lying in the commercial banks of individuals or the companies, they have also increased. So it's a good sign for the economy, but we need some major transactions. For instance, in December, in first week of December, it is expected the IMF Executive Board is going to approve $1.2 billion under the EFF and RSF installment for Pakistan. And Pakistan is also expecting to undertake Panda bond within next 4 to 6 weeks period. So it will be a prescription of $200 billion to $250 million. So in next 2 months, Pakistan's foreign exchange reserves will be increased at least $1.5 billion. Another thing, State Bank of Pakistan has purchased around $20 billion from the open market in last 3 years. So this way we are trying to build up the foreign exchange reserves.
So President Trump, he has been slapping countries with different sort of tariffs, and recently he has approved major sanctions on Russian oil suppliers, because of which the oil prices have risen up to 5%. So how it is going to affect us? Is it going to come towards us?
Of course, because all those countries who are oil importing countries, it will affect their balance of payment situation, because our oil import is the major import bill for Pakistan, and whenever international market prices decrease, it helps Pakistan. But if the prices escalates, it creates problems. But there is also need to undertake a major conservation plan in case of Pakistan. For instance, carpooling. Why it cannot be done in Pakistan? If I am traveling and commuting alone on my car, I should be penalized. But if I am giving this carpooling and allowing others to sit in my car, on 2 or 3 people, there should be less toll charges. For instance, this is an idea. We need a major conservation plan so that we can reduce our reliance on the imported oil.
So, sir, in simpler words, is it possible that we're going to see oil prices and fuel prices surge in Pakistan?
Of course, when there will be a price escalation in the international market, Pakistani authorities will have no other option but to pass on this burden to the consumers.
So that means we do not have a good news for the
Of
people who
course,
are watching.
of course,
Thank you so much, sir.
always welcome.
That's all for today. If you want us to discuss some specific topic, do let us know in the comments. Till then, keep watching All of Your Business. Have a great weekend, you all.